Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Patience, and I decided to come at you guys with a little new one. In this one I actually want to start working on the sketch that you can see on the screen at the moment. Um, Unfortunately I did actually start this stream earlier, and I had to bring it down because the sound quality was really bad. And so yes, I just had to redo it. I had two voiceovers going on, and everything was just a bit too rampant, I would say. I was very unorganized. I guess I took for granted that because I'd be working on my Surface Pro, that everything would be pretty smooth and easy going. Also, my battery was running relatively low, so I figured if I gave myself a little bit of time, make sure that I was organized, get back online. So this was practically the sketch that I started, but what I will do is I will upload the time-lapse version so that we can all go through that together, guys. But yeah, so what I want to do is what I've been doing is uploading a lot of profile pictures of recognizable, and that they're acknowledgeable, and that they are well, comic ready, as it were. So that's the purpose of this. I'm also creating a lot of 3D environments to implement my characters into. So if you go and you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see all the 3D environments that I've been creating, small plots and small props and stuff here and there. I do want to try and get into creating characters that are game ready as well, but I won't get into publishing characters for any games my darn self. Like I've explained, I'm not qualified in game design or game development of any kind at the moment. Is it something that I would like to get into my darn self in the future? Maybe, but I don't think it's something that I will be very much so successful in, because I do not have the time to invest into such things at the moment. Like I've tried to explain, guys, at the moment I've just got myself into the music industry, as it were, as a solo artist or developer. So I'll be publishing music now, to a professional standard, by my own standards, my IAD. But I've got a video coming out on that in a couple of days. I'm also doing a 3D course, and I'm also very involved in 2D animation, which I implement into my 3D, and I also do a lot of revision, guys, and a lot of experimenting. All these things are very important and crucial to help me and my art develop. So that's me as an artist, my darn self, Patience Benjamins, and that's what you will get to know me as, hopefully, quite vastly in the future, as I start presenting more and more of my work onto you guys. But anyway, it's your boy Patience, and I'd like to get on with this. So and I don't want my battery running out, guys. So I will start my illustration. I was trying to bring out in my stream before it went to pan, that the Surface Pro is a brilliant device, especially for students that are getting into any sort of technology, whether it be art, whether it be finance or anything. But the only thing is if you are getting into like art, like 3D and 2D, mostly the 3D, the 2D not so bad, but the 3D, it does get very strenuous. Like right now I'm streaming on the Surface Pro and I'm doing my 2D work, and I can feel that it is very hot. So you do have to take that stuff into consideration. It is a very good device, but it will hinder you from doing extensive work, or heavy duties or heavy workloads. In that case, you will have to transfer some of your work onto your Windows desktop or your desktop to proceed. I'm just trying to get this loaded up now so I can continue on my work. So I'm hoping you guys can see everything that I'm doing and that you can follow. In fact, if you just give me a moment, I'm going to try and get me up as well so I can keep an eye on my stream. Okay, it's also kind of a test stream as well, because this is like one of the first times streaming live on my Surface Pro. So yeah, pretty crucial, guys. I figured it was also important for me to start my oh, do you know what? Sorry, my bad. I flipped it into like that mode. Yeah, actually want it in this mode. Yeah, so I'll start my illustration. Like I said, I will upload a time-lapse version. I'll probably slow it down a little bit so I can go through it properly with you guys. But I'll just take you on a little brief tour. So before the red lines, that was me drawing up the blue lines. And how it went was I was trying to find the right or correct posture for my character. Sorry about the video feed, guys, because if anything, what I will do is I will remove myself for the time being. Give me a moment. Alright, so yeah, so I was working on trying to make my character have a posture that was more relevant to his cause, and not kind of like just robotic. And so that was what I was focusing on at the start of the video. Then I worked my way to this sketch here, which is where he's got a bit more meaning, a bit more purpose into, you know, his posture, etc. And then I went over it with the red lines to give him a bit more character atop that posture. So now I'm going to go in and I might try and clean it up a little bit more before I start my render. But as we're here, I'll just start the render, guys. If you don't mind, I'm going to flip this screen for a moment in vertical mode. This is just so it's a little bit easier for me, but you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. At least I hope so. It's just sometimes I've got to get in there so I can really catch some of these points. I don't like it too close. I'm doing some stuff, but when I'm catching the eyes. It's quite intimidating as well, because earlier I was watching another artist drawing his anime character, and it was polished and rendered, and it looked amazing. It was at a level that I can't achieve yet, but I was left in awe and, you know, wowing like literally every 5 seconds. So sometimes when you're doing like a live sketch, it can be quite intimidating, but I believe I can handle this one. The reason being as well is because this is a character that I myself am very familiar with. And there we go. So now I can come to this point, and I can just probably draw these air a little bit. I'm not usually so quick, but as I'm on my Surface Pro, I will try and move at a relatively quick pace, just so I don't get caught out with battery time. Or right now I'm doing okay. Oh yeah, and the battery time on the Surface Pro is, at least the one I have version 6, and the battery time on that is just so not good. You get like about 4 hours out of it at best. That's if your consistency via energy use is obviously consistent. But if you use it just to I don't know, like maybe just watch videos and stuff, you probably get a longer time out of it, you know. But if you're using it and you're just working away on it, it does kind of hinder your working process, so it's not really productive there. I doubt it was made simply for browsing the web, because it costs so much. I guess it's just one of those situations where maybe it wasn't made for students. It's more a device that you would expect someone who's self-employed to probably possess. But like I said, if you're versatile, if you're able to work from one device and over to another device like your desktop, then it shouldn't be so bad. But this for me is my main designation of like my hub base, as it were, because my Windows device takes too much energy. So what I may do is I may draw him up online and draw roughly how I want this to look, and then I might give it a clean up and render it off screen, even though this is like a render, but we'll make this like a sub render, and then I'll render it off screen and then upload the finished work via the time lapse. This way you get to see just how I work on my illustrations a bit more live. for anyone out there that's well aware with how I work, like I said, I don't always use perspective points and perspective lines. There's a reason. If I just quickly bring it out this time again, say you have a circle. It's a very important illustration. Let's say you have a circle like this one, and you want to draw it from a perspective point somewhere back here like this one, but then you can also draw it from the same perspective point like this one's and like this one's, right? If you're to take it from another angle, the perspective point can be taken from multiple angles, which means a circle has an infinite, when talking about perspective lines, depending on how you want to use it, a circle will have an infinite amount of perspective points to draw from, as it were. So, you know, though you can break it down to a planar, I tend to find that to, you know, kind of restrict an artist from kind of really bringing out an environment, as it were, because I will use an example for my point. If I was to draw a box from a perspective point, so let's say all points come from here, so that line there is the focal point, it's a focus point, and everything I draw focuses to that point, then everything begins to look too uniform. And I will explain to you how and why. If I just get me something a little bit more, don't worry guys, not a tutorial, just trying to explain to you why I'm not using perspectives. Boxes are usually even, so you know that would be 4 square, that would be 4 square, or you do and then that would be 4 square, right? So everything's the same. So when you say that you're gonna do the illusion of a vanishing point, in reality there kind of is no vanishing point, you know, so when you do draw it, so say I've drawn a room and the room is a box, and I want to draw things in this box, which is a room. Now I've got to take, oh rather that's wrong, let's say this is my room, and we'll say it goes like this, we'll do it like that. Now I know the dimensions of everything in that room. It's a good illusion, and it's an illusion worth taking into consideration, but when you start drawing, like this would be like the top of the desk, and that line's going into this line, and so you draw like this once, and this line's going into that line, okay, and so it's going to be like this once, and then maybe you draw a lamppost on that, you know, like a lampshade, a lamp, and then you draw something over here. Everything is coming from that point, and so my point being is that your work ends up looking too uniform, whereas in a room, let's say we use the vanishing point scenario again. Like I said, it's a very good illusion, but in a room, this is the room, this is the room, this is the room. So in a room, you might have a box that's facing this way, and then you might have your TV that's facing frontways, and then you might have the lamp, and then you might have something laying on the floor that's laying that way, and then you have someone standing in a room that's coming this way. So the point is say these are his shoulders, this here is gonna be his vanishing point ultimately, and for this thing, its vanishing point is gonna be coming this way, and the TV's its vanishing point is coming towards us, and this thing wherever the hell it's, you know. And so my point being is that there's gonna be, you know, if you know, when you kind of simplify things, your work looks too uniform, and if you do it the other way, then you're gonna have like hundreds, if not thousands, of you know, points, vanishing points going all over the place. Whereas myself, though I do take vanishing points into consideration, and I do recommend it onto anyone, I do like to see a little bit of nature, which is where I like to kind of work in, at least when I'm cartooning. I do really like that fundamental, because when you take into consideration that you know, it's your perception. How do you see someone's shoulders, or how do you see someone, you know, like your presentation of your imitation is what's interesting, not so much lines and rulers, as it were. So that's why I myself don't necessarily use perspective points and vanishing lines, etc. But it's not a custom that I avoid. If I use it, then I will use it. When there's always a time to use, you know, certain tools. I'm gonna try and keep these lines pretty clean. I kind of want this shoulder a bit lower, so like he's kind of stepping onto his, like, you know, kind of his shoulder. So let me see how that's looking. I want it a bit lower. I want it down here. I guess that would do. Sometimes I use references, but I don't always use references. If I do use references, it's mainly because I'm trying to capture a specific moment, and a moment in which I either one, hope to create to make my own in due time, or two, if it's like drawing something that is very sophisticated and trying to draw off memory is obviously well beyond my means. So I guess I'll give him a little wind capture here. And I guess, yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Now we can bring this up. see the shader I've got for here. But I want it that big. Alright, so that's looking pretty darn neat. So, so the idea was to have it like he's swinging his arm. Get rid of that bit. And this bit can kind of like go around. Maybe we get another bit like this. This bit. And then we want to draw his upper hand back here. Oops. Keep those lines. Maybe his arm going back here. Draw his hand there. I guess it's cool. What routine yet? And because the wind's blowing, we give it just a bit more flick. Give this a bit more. Kind of changed it out a little bit. For this to work, I've got to fix that bit. This bit, maybe this one. This bit's just blow it back. Probably get a little bit more wild. Okay, so that's looking pretty darn neat. So if I flip it around to this side, I can see that technically the character needs to be kind of pulled forward. That should be good enough. Anything else I can do my darn self, you know, man. And so now what I'm going to do is just draw a few gadgets onto him. things that will probably neaten up in due time. Yeah, yeah. It's looking relatively neat. Let's clean this up all we can. And it's looking fine. I'll probably fix the back bit there. Keep this bit out. And so yeah, that's a pretty nice rough sketch, I would say. It's going to be something like that. Something like that's probably what I've got in mind. And then what I want to do is just going to see. So I've only just kind of started my stream, as it were, and my battery is already like I think that's below. Oh, it's like below halfway. So you kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this one, guys. So what I'm gonna do is was using that. So I believe I can use this one. No, so I will get another one. And now what I will do is I will use perspectives. So I would assume that the perspective line is something like this. So this line and this line. So pretty basic. So I'll assume that it's on this kind of plane. We could probably bring, yeah, leave it about there. Bring this one kind of like there. So bring it back here, bring it back here. So you can see where I'm kind of broken, but I'm going to work with this one. This one should be more like somewhere here. So this one could come here, and then it can come somewhere here. And that's good enough for me. So now, what I want to do is I just want to load that and go back to my subs. Get ready to draw my other haven't really thought about what I'm going to do with him yet.